Hey, so before we get started, I lost the footage for like half the process of the drawing I'm about to show you. I don't really want to talk about it any more than that. I saved it to my computer and then I tried opening the file later, and it was just like not working, so the file got corrupted, I guess. It was fine before that, so yeah, let's just get started on the video. Sorry for that kind of depressing intro. Welcome back to my channel. This is Mizuki Arts. Today we are going to be redrawing some of my old artwork, particularly this one piece that I drew in 2020. I believe I drew it in March of 2020, although it could have been like February or something. I'm not sure. But regardless, it was a lot of fun to draw, and I remember watching anime while working on it. And for this redraw, I wanted to kind of change some of the details and reflect on how much my style has changed since that period of my life. I had this whole plan to like go in depth and like talk about like work-life balance with like art, a part-time job, and also college, but I really don't feel like organizing any kind of notes or plan or anything for this video, so you'll have to forgive me for that. I just kind of want to talk about the things that changed in my style and stuff. The first thing I actually noticed while working on this that changed about my style is the way that I draw noses, which is like really strangely specific because that's not what I thought I would have noticed. I think the biggest difference in my style from then versus now is the way that I color things, but just, you know, with the order of steps and all, I noticed the nose first because I do tend to work on the faces before I work on the body, even though that's actually like a really bad habit. But you know, I work on faces first, and obviously coloring is like one of the later steps. So but anyways, in the original she has kind of like a flat nose. It kind of looks like a Roman nose, I think it's called. I'm not sure, maybe it's called a Greek nose. I don't know, but you know the nose I'm talking about. But I don't know if that's what I intended or not. Either way, I mean, like she looks cute with either nose. I do enjoy like drawing Roman noses and stuff, but I just kind of figured that wasn't what I was going for back then, just based on like the fact that most of the noses that I drew kind of looked flat like that. So I figure it wasn't like a stylistic thing, I don't know, or like, you know, something I was consciously thinking about while planning out her features. I do think I need to draw more of that type of nose, but yeah, I just, knowing my intentions from back when I was drawing that, like knowing what I was thinking and stuff, I figured I could just kind of give whatever nose that I wanted to her, primarily because like I just didn't know how to draw noses back then, so I probably wasn't thinking too much about it. But then after I finished the line art, and was very scared about doing all that because line art has always been a weakness of mine. But after finishing the line art, I went in with the colors. And here's something interesting. The original drawing was done in alcohol markers. And with alcohol markers, you're kind of stuck with the colors that you get out of the marker, unless you're really good at color mixing or whatever. And with gouache, of course, you have much more control. So I found that with this piece, I just chose to make things like more pastel. Like instead of giving her that primary yellow background that the original has, I went with kind of a yellow that suited the tone of the drawing more, if that makes sense. You may also notice that I decided to change little details about the piece. Obviously things like the anatomy and whatnot look quite a bit different because I've practiced a lot since then. But also like I changed the design of the bow and I tried to simplify things a little bit just because I think I used to overcomplicate things a lot in my artwork, and I don't know, I kind of feel like you know, having an extra layer to the bow or whatever is not an important detail, and it doesn't add anything to the piece. In fact, it kind of disrupted the color palette, so that was one of the details that I changed. I tried to make the little clouds like a little bit bigger, and I removed the moon from the background, just because I didn't think it added anything much to the piece either. I think I just put moons in like a lot of my drawings back then, and obviously I still like drawing moons now because they still like make appearances in my current artwork and stuff. And obviously at this point, this was when I really felt like the difference in my coloring techniques. Like I remember working on the original, and how different it was to color back then. Like in the original drawing, this character has like a normal skin tone. She's not like pink with like anime blush all over her, you know. But here we are. It's funny how in that way, at least, my art has become almost less correct. Like there's less focus on that, or maybe I just, you know, developed an art style. I don't know. I didn't really have much of a style back then, that's for sure. I definitely wanted to keep the dress like pretty similar. I wanted like, of course, to be primarily pink because I love pink. And I tried to change little things here and there just to kind of make it updated to my taste, you know, but not too much. I also decided to give the character like doll joints, you know, like I think I named the piece something like doll or like puppet show or something. I can't remember. I don't recall. But I decided to kind of make that motif a little bit clearer in this piece. So I wanted to give her doll joints just because otherwise it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. And even now I think it's like a super weird piece concept. Like I think it looks strange. But I don't know. I like the dress and I like the colors, so it was a fun piece to redraw. Another thing I noticed while working on this piece was that I didn't like pull up the reference all the time, and this was sort of on purpose and sort of not. I noticed that because I had that freedom where I wasn't always looking at the reference, I didn't feel as frozen as I have when like I had the piece in front of me all the time, you know? Like it became kind of like my interpretation of my old art, you know. So the important details stayed, but the ones that weren't so important got updated and changed to fit my current taste, so I enjoy it more, you know, like I enjoy the process a bit. I know in the past I've had some like serious difficulties with drawing my old art, like things haven't turned out right or have even like looked worse than the old art. In the case of this one piece that I did in like January of 2021 and hated so much. But regardless, I think if I do redraws in the future, which I probably will because I think they're pretty cool, I'll probably do it this way where I kind of analyze the important stuff and then just draw it, you know, like have fun changing things and letting things be my own. Just like with anything, if you enjoy something, you're going to be able to put in a lot more effort because you'll start to put in like personal time and stuff, or you'll be more patient with it, I guess is a better way to say it. And I especially want that to be something that's prominent while I'm working on stuff like redraws, because that is so personal anyways, you know? Like when I did the original, I was just having fun and drawing while watching anime. So I want it to be a similar experience, so to speak, during the redraw, something that doesn't pull me back in time necessarily, but pulls that joy and casualness of drawing into the present day, which I think is kind of a cool concept, and I'm glad it worked out this way because this was a pretty cool little challenge, especially because I remember being so proud of the original piece, and now I don't even like the original piece as much. Like I like the strange concept, but I don't like the execution, so it's kind of cool to have like an updated version. Like I noted before, the original piece was done with alcohol markers, and of course this one is done in gouache. And like I also noted before, I have a lot more control over the colors now, not only because I've improved a whole lot, but because of this medium difference. And I really can see how much more unified this piece is. And this isn't me just hating on alcohol markers, by the way. I just really didn't know how to use them. And obviously gouache and watercolor took a lot of practice. But with alcohol markers, I really was like having like a dead end, so to speak. Like I just couldn't use them properly for whatever reason. And it's not like I hate alcohol markers anyway. Like I still use them for like my assignments for certain classes, and I use them in like my doodle sketchbook and whatnot, but just for my finished pieces at least, I didn't know how to use them properly. It's funny how like in hindsight you can see so clearly like what you did and didn't understand about your artwork. Like you can see your weaknesses with foreshortening and stuff, and you can see that you're not confident in your lines or your colors or whatever. But back when you can't like tell that about a piece, you know. And sometimes your eyes develop before your hands, so like you'll look at a piece like, I don't know, a week later, and you'll go, oh my gosh, I should fix that, and you'll try to draw a new piece with your quote-unquote upgraded eyes, and it won't work yet. And that's just part of the artistic journey. And this was a really fun challenge, by the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed all the YouTube things, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye! Before I head out, thank you so much to Ashley for supporting me on Ko-fi. Thank you so much, Ashley. Your support means the world to me. If anyone else wants to join my Ko-fi page, the link is in the description box. You get early access, sketches, and doodles, and more.